everybody, and welcome to Kamala Ingrid Tutorials. So today, one of my requests that I got actually from my beloved beautiful child is back, shoulder blades, and your neck and upper back basically. She is a painter, so with that comes the tension that they build. Most artists will build when they're painting for long hours is a tension of basically hunching over, depending on where they are. If they're on the floor, they're hunching and rounding over, and you're always using one side more than the other. So today I'm going to create a 15-minute tutorial how to release your shoulders. And I have some props that you guys can use. One of them is getting a small, basically block, a basic block you can pick up anywhere like Marshall's, Target, any of those places. My active release therapy balls, all three of them, and I will be putting them soon on sale, so be on the lookout for that. Jump on it. But if I would pay all three of them, because you get a better deal when you get them, all of them, versus when you get them individually. They're great must-have. So we are going to use all three of them today. And for those that only have maybe the large or the blue, it's okay. You'll get to see how I use them each and every single moment. For every move, you will enjoy and understand. So if you have the large only, then there's a way you can use them, and then we move down to the blue ones that goes deeper into it, and the beautiful purple ones basically are like deep tissue massage, okay? And the blocks are a must-have, okay? So let us begin. And also a foam roller. If you have a large foam rollers, those are actually really good to use for anyone with scoliosis. For my artists out there that are constantly rounding, for my computer nerds out there that are constantly on the computer, whether you're doing IT work or you're doing some work at, you're working at the house for hours, these particular props will help you on a day-to-day basis get back onto your, your spine routine, and at the same time save your spine for, to better perform every day. You're not rounding the shoulders, you're not throwing your alignment out. So this is going to help you. It's just like brushing your teeth every day, keeping your teeth healthy, your gums healthy. It's the same thing. You want to be able to know how to do these self-care without having to have to go on a constant basis to a chiropractor to get self-adjusted and find yourself in the same boat again following a couple days later or weeks later. So these are great tips for you to understand your body and how to keep it in alignment. Okay, so let us roll. So we're going to begin with the orange one. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you I'm going to be propped up this way because I want you guys to see from your angle what I do. I lay down on the floor, I extend my arms, I love to bring my knees into the chest so my spine is flat. I tend to bring the knees always high above the hips to try to press them together. You see how I keep my shoulder down and I'm able to press those knees, stack them on top of each other. This is key for a perfect spinal twist. Most of my clients find themselves in this situation where they're lifted up, and so what happens, there's tension here and the possibility that their shoulders are rounded. So here's the trick. If this is you're not capable of bringing those shoulders down on both sides while you're twisting to the right or left, and keep that palm down in this format, and you find tension in the hip while you're doing this, or you find tension in the front of your shoulder, the key to this fix is grabbing my active release therapy ball, placing them right in the top part of your spine, and then you lift the pelvis up and you roll back and forth. But remember to keep your hair out of the way. For those with long hair, you don't want to pull or tug that hair out. It hurts. So you roll these a few times to allow that tension to, release that tightness in the muscle. And then you take the blue ones, do the same thing. So you go back at it, and it's always important to take one hand on top of the shoulder to open up the back. So as you do this, you roll up and your hips are off the ground. You're rolling basically back and forth. Now I know that beginners, you find this very difficult, and that's okay. I understand. So you can always take yourself in this position and just roll back and forth in this format too. Nothing's wrong with this. And just work your way slowly into that space. So as you can see, from your perspective, where my balls are right side by side of my spine. You do this a few times to help you release that. Now, here's another trick. We always are working on the back, but we forget the front. I'm going to demonstrate from this angle right now on how to work the front as well. You want to be able to take this ball, the large one, and place it right on top of that shoulder. You're going to slowly rotate in a circular format, releasing that tension that you build up in that area, and just sit on it, putting a little bit of pressure on that trigger. Breathing into it, you can place your hand down and then bring your head right on top of it and just breathe. And your goal is to bring this arm right behind your back to try to push into that trigger point and try to release that end. Once you're done here, and you can also roll this on your pecs, side to side here, and arm is extended and you're going back and forth to release that tension in your pectoral muscles. Once you're done there, extend the arm and place your, in this case I'm on my right side, place your right cheek on the floor, right arm is extended, left hand is on the floor, and you take the left leg, cross it over, okay? Now, if you have a lot of tightness, your neck is not going to come on the ground like I have been able to, so you can always use a block to place your head there, and this allows you to open up and help eliminate that roundness that we tend to have on our shoulders. So that's number one. That's always important for you to practice, okay? And you will do the same thing for the left side. Repeat again, arm behind, place this ball on that trigger, and you're going to always look. So if you're working on the left side, look to your right. So you turn facing that side, back and forth in a circular formation if you want. And then you can always take that arm extend, follow back and forth. And last but not least, we repeat again, this time your head to the floor or on a block, and then take the arm behind. Your leg behind, the right leg, and this opens up. So not only are you working the shoulder, but you're also working the psoas as well. You're placing this foot and the knee is pointed to the ceiling, and you hold it here. Keep that palm pressing down. Once you're done, come back, and then into a child pose. Dropping down here. Let's come back in all fours. You're going to open up, scoop under. This one we call in yoga, threading the needle through. Thread the needle. You do 4 of these on each side, and then you're going to drop the head down, extend the arm up. Gazing right into the palm, helping your neck and your shoulders. Come back, repeat on the other side. 1, breathe. 2, breathe, exhale, 3, and 4. Hold, and then extend the arm up. And once you come back, always go right back into a down dog, into a child pose to stretch those arms. Breathe in deeply. Now, take your block, place it here, and we're going to bring those arms in this format. Bring your head down. Feel the stretch taking place right into the tricep area and into the shoulder. It's very important to release that because a lot of times we don't have that mobility or that ability to stretch our arms out because we're so tight in our backs. And so that's one way of releasing. And another way you can do it is, I take the large ones because these are a lot easier on you, and you're not going to feel that intense pain that when you move on to the blue ones. So the blue ones go deeper. So let's start with the orange one. So we're going to work the neck area, the top of the shoulder, okay? And you're going to take that arm over just like I have right now, and we're going to release that tension, that trigger that you tend to build up. For women, we carry heavy stuff on our shoulders, and so that area is very tight. For men, you tend to be rounded for long periods of time on the computer or on your cell phones, and you find yourself rounding your head constantly. So this particular area of our traps tend to get super tight. And this pose, just by putting the ball right there at the tip and raising that arm over your head, lifting the pelvis up, allows you to hit that trigger point and start releasing. So now the only thing you need to do is breathe and relax, and then come back. Then we're going to now slowly roll the ball down the scapula and going to feel those little pockets of trigger points. And slowly rotate along that scapula right into that armpit, as you can see. Now, it's easy for me to do it, but for most people, it's going to be super tight. You can raise your arm, bring it down, raise your arm, bring it down, just to open that up. This is excellent for that area of our serratus muscles that tend to be super tight. So now we repeat the same thing, and I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you can really see a little bit better on how to do so. So I'm going to repeat again with the orange one, and I'm going to lift the pelvis, hold your balance, release the tension, and slowly roll down your shoulder blade until you kind of roll your ball right underneath that armpit. And as you can see, I lift and release. And you place your hand here, lift and release. And just hold it here and just feel that tension releasing from that area. Once you're done, you're going to now repeat again with the blue one individually. Let's move on to our neck now. And here, I'm going to just use one for now. I like to go deeper into this area of the neck area, so we're going to place it on the occipital point, which is right here, the base where the head tilts back and forth. You're going to place it on the right side. So imagine yourself placing that ball. Your chin is going to drop down to your chest, and you're going to draw the shoulders down into the floor. You rotate your head slowly to the far right, and you repeat again from that center point to the right. You do this a few times to release any tension. You take the ball, roll it down a little bit lower, and repeat a few times. And then the same thing. Once you're done on the right side, you go to the left side of the occipital and repeat on the left. Here, you release any tension that you build up in that area of your shoulder that runs up into your neck area, and this releases a lot. Now, once you've done both sides, take your time to place both of them on the occipital. Place it there, chin to your chest, and then lift the pelvis. This elongates that tension. And if you feel tension on the right side of your area, like right below the shoulder, then you're going to place, in this case for me, I feel a little tension when I lifted and did that. I felt it right here. So I'm going to then take that ball, lift the pelvis up, keep the chin to your chest, and then I'm going to raise that arm up. And it might be mild, so I just move into it till I find a little trigger. And there it is. So now I'm breathing through it, holding it for up to 30 seconds if I want. Just by breathing, you release that tension and release. And so how you check yourself is you bring the ball back, the block back, and the ball places itself right in that same spot. Chin to chest, drop, lift the pelvis up, and that pain is gone. So, all I have to say to you is just keep repeating what I showed you on, and you kind of find yourself going back into those exercises again. Then you check yourself one more time before you finish your session is, does this shoulder come down even more after you release it? If you find that it's come down just a bit, say you were here, now you're here, that means that you need to keep working on it back and forth in that scapula. And for those that don't know what the scapula is this bone that you see sticking out as I bring my hand back. You see that bone right there? You're going to take the ball and follow that entire area. That is where we hold tension, so you want to be able to release that, and then also along the spine. You do this, and you take care of your shoulders. Do this every day, and you'll have a wonderful time. Enjoy, and thank you for joining me. Leave me any comments below, and I will be happy to also provide you another one pretty soon. And feel free to let me know what you guys want to release. Namaste.